They laughed at him. They called him names. Fruit boy, go hug your bananas. But the boy who once sold fruits on dusty streets would one day own the land those same people stood on. Eli was no ordinary child. He was born in silence, not because he couldn't speak, but because he understood, even as a baby, the value of listening. While other children cried and cooed, Eli observed. His wide eyes took in every detail, every expression, every sound. His mother, Anna, was the heart of Stonebridge. A fruit seller by trade, but a philosopher at heart. "Son," she'd whisper as she sliced pineapples and wrapped guavas in old newspaper, "fruits are like people. Some rot fast. Some sweeten with time. You must learn to tell the difference." Their stall was nothing more than a patched-up umbrella, a splintered wooden crate, and a bucket of fading hope. But under Anna's care, it was a sanctuary. Eli grew up learning the rhythm of the market. The sweet scent of ripened mangoes, the sting of mockery from wealthier children, the quiet pride in making an honest sale. Then came the storm. A monsoon roared through Stonebridge like a beast set loose. Roofs tore. Trees snapped. Rivers overflowed. Anna never came home. They found her crushed beneath the ancient fig tree at the marketplace. Her fruit basket was scattered like offerings, and in her hand, she clutched a single mango, as if even in her final moment, she held on to sweetness. Eli, just 6 years old, became a shadow with purpose. No shoes. No father. Just fruits. And a fire. The villagers pitied him, tossing coins and soft words his way. The children, less kind, hurled pebbles at his basket and laughed at his ragged clothes. "Does your brain taste like coconut too? You smell like overripe pawpaw." But Eli never fought back. Not once. Because he was listening. Watching. Learning. He saw patterns. He noticed the baker's wife only bought pineapples when her husband stayed out late. That the pastor secretly loved mangoes but claimed to fast every Thursday. That bananas sold faster just before payday. That guavas flew off the stall during weddings. By age 10, he could predict a family's fortune just by their shopping habits. At night, Eli would sit under the same mango tree where his mother once counted coins. He read torn textbooks he'd rescued from trash heaps. He learned math with market stones. Studied trade from overheard conversations. Taught himself interest rates and bartering strategies. He dreamed not of escape, but of elevation. At 13, he met Old Man Walter, a retired teacher who lived behind the cemetery. Walter, half-blind but brilliant, accepted fruits as payment for knowledge. Every mango bought a poem. Every orange, a principle. "Power doesn't shout," Walter once said. "It whispers from behind closed doors." Eli took the lesson to heart. He stopped buying lunch. Stopped replacing torn clothes. He buried coins in jars beneath goats' pens, inside tree trunks, under market stalls. At 15, he bought his first piece of land. It was a swamp. Mosquito-ridden and dismissed by all. He paid in coins and bananas. The seller laughed, calling him mad. But Eli saw potential. He drained the swamp using techniques from a borrowed book on irrigation. Turned it fertile. Leased it to farmers. One plot became 2. Then 5. Then 10. Still, he sold fruits. Same basket. Same smile. By 18, he was quietly the largest landowner in Stonebridge. But who would believe it? He was still the fruit boy. Until the SUVs arrived. Government officials. Developers. Suits. Satellite maps. They were building a highway to connect cities, and Stonebridge was the bridge. Land became gold. The villagers scrambled. Confused. They argued over borders. Many didn't know they had no legal rights to the land they lived on. But one name kept appearing on all the documents. Eli. The laughter stopped. Fruit Boy owns this much. The developers offered him millions. He declined. Instead, he proposed a partnership. He'd provide land, local insight, and labor in return, not for money, but for equity. They agreed. And that's when Eli began to build. A school, free, with tablets, solar-powered libraries, and teachers trained by Walter. A clinic, staffed by the only doctor who once treated him for free. A fruit processing factory, exporting juices and jams under the brand, Anna's Orchard. He hired those who mocked him. Trained them. Paid them. When some lost their homes to debt, he bought the houses, then gave them back. Why? A reporter once asked. Eli smiled. Because I remember when all I had was fruit, and someone gave me a chance. Years passed. Stonebridge transformed. It became a symbol of rural rebirth. A case study in universities. A pilgrimage site for dreamers. Eli refused all political posts. But once a month, he returned to the market. Barefoot. Basket in hand. "Why do you still sell fruits, sir?" a child asked. "Because," he replied, handing the boy a guava, "you should never forget the soil your roots came from. Or the tree your mother died beneath." Today, tourists flock to Stonebridge, now known as the Fruit Kingdom. Under the mango tree, there's a plaque. He was mocked for selling fruits until he bought the whole village. And below that, in gold, "Never mock a seed. You don't know what kind of tree it will become. Never underestimate humble beginnings." The fruit boy they laughed at became the man who transformed an entire village. If this story moved you, inspired you, or gave you chills, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more powerful stories and lessons that could change your day or your life. Because every great tree once started with a single click.